Good afternoon. I'm going to call to order this District of Clearwater regular council meeting for Tuesday, July 12th at 2 p.m. I'd like to begin by acknowledging we're fortunate to be gathering together today on the unceded territory of the Sim people who have been caretakers of this land since time immemorial. Are there any late items we'd like to add to the agenda? Seeing none, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? Moved by Councillor Taylor, seconded by Councillor Haring. All those in favor? Adoption of the minutes. Any errors or omissions? Not seeing any waving hands. Moved by Councillor Mackenzie, seconded by Councillor Frizzle. All those in favor? No items under 6, 7, 8, or 9, or 10. Moving on to Mayor's report. Great time attending all the grad celebrations on the 24th and 25th, I believe. Awesome to see those kids and all the in-person celebrations and the like, and just the sheer joy of so many family members cheering everybody on. That was a fantastic show for sure. I like that I didn't have to do a speech at this one. That was fantastic. That was a great gift. And yeah, and then Canada Day was a nice start to trying to get back to community events. On July the 7th, I met with Municipal Affairs Minister Nathan Cullen here in town on a very short notice meeting, discussed a whole bunch of our issues, including the hospital issues. And in the last, I would say 5 days, I have done, I think, about 7 or 8 media interviews related to the hospital issue. And it's really nice to see our MLA, Peter Millibar, and Dr. Kara Purdue get on board. If you missed it on Saturday morning, Dr. Purdue's comments on CBC's The House, which is probably one of the highlight political shows in Canada. Dr. Purdue's comments were the intro to the interview with John Horgan, and her talking points were used extensively during the interview and also quoted by the Premier. Many of the issues to do with Clearwater were quoted by the Premier, and so we are definitely been being covered and paid attention to in Victoria. I also had a meeting yesterday on the phone with Carl Meadows from Interior Health, who's a director of something at the higher level there. And he has put it to me that they are 40% of staff time at the managerial level in Interior Health is focused on resolving Clearwater's issues. And he will be coming here, and Interior Health will be bringing several ideas forward and several changes forward to help assist the issues at the Clearwater Dr. Helmick Memorial Hospital. So cross your fingers it all comes through. Moving on to council reports. Everybody's here. Councillor Banford, fly away.
Thank you, Mayor Blackwell. Yep, I attended a grad parade, which was really nice to see. It was just, the sidewalk were just packed with people and lawn chairs and the whole thing. It was really nice parade to see all the different, well, everybody's so happy and everybody in their cars and stuff was neat. Had a cemetery committee, which we'll report on later on. Some interesting stuff coming up there, and attended a special council meeting just yesterday. And that's my report.
Thank you. Councillor Frizzle.
I also attended the grad parade, and it was really nice to see. One of the grads was somebody I saw from the day she was born until she graduated, so that was really exciting for me. Canada Day was lots of fun. We had 200 cupcakes to give out, and we gave them all away. I had a chance to talk to lots of people that were visiting Clearwater from Australia and all around, so that was really nice, and a lot of locals out too to participate, so that was fun. And I also wanted to just give an update on the men's sheds because I've talked about them for a while. And so I got Ray Harms, who's one of the leaders there, to give me an email on what they've been up to. Of course, you all know about the wind booth. They worked hard on that. They also made 9 folding tables and have sold 7. Some of them have put their carvings and other wooden pieces into the art show. They made a blender bike for the farmers market. And so that's at the farmers market for the summer, and then they'll be taking it back to improve the design for in the fall, so it'll be going back out. They're refurbishing a garden bench for Forest View, and they're doing lots of little projects helping each other fix picture frames, etc. And they're really enjoying the fact that they're there. So just wanted to let everyone know how well they're doing. So that's my report.
Yeah, thank you. Ken Matheson pedaled so hard that he actually made his smoothie and the whole blender top fly across the field. So yeah, I saw it in action. It was quite the adventure. Councillor Haring, go ahead.
Nothing update from me this week.
Thanks, Bill. Councillor Mackenzie, back from one grand lap of Alberta.
Thank you, Mayor Blackwell. Pretty quiet couple weeks for me since the last meeting there. I did attend the Canada Day celebration at the Info Center, and it was quite a mixed bag. There was a lot of O Canada and a lot of FO Canada. Judging by what I've talked to with people and just being the first year after what happened last year and everything, it was quite the mixed vibe between everyone. So that was it for that. I did want to congratulate grads this year and wish them all the best in their futures. It's every grad year I always think back to mine and think how excited you were getting up to it, and you almost relive it every year. Just you see their excitement, or you know someone, so it's kind of a cool little thing for me. Nice to see all the projects coming along for the trails. Lots of talk about that, positive, negative, a little bit of both. But I was wondering if it was possible to put out information regarding property right-of-ways, specifically aimed at the properties along trails. This one in particular and behind us. I didn't realize how much of your front yards weren't actually yours until I was told a few years ago about it. So I see a lot of posts and talk about that. People thinking they've lost half their yard, and updated pictures every time they make a pass with the packer, and you know they lost another inch, etc. So just wondering if we can maybe put out some material for them that they could read, just to refresh on what is actually theirs and what they don't really have access to. Just
Yeah, I mean, we had the same issues when we did the Park Drive Trail. There was a lot of back and forth on that, but yes, I think information next time, preparation for the next time is definitely that, and I think a newsletter item or something like that.
just to give them a heads up. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not everyone, but there's a few, and just to kind of bring up an old subject, maybe and refresh your memory.
For sure. I've heard the exact same comments.
Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it for me. Thanks.
Oh, and you have to, basically mention that you almost ended up in Prime Minister Trudeau's motorcade.
Yes, I did almost end up part of the entourage there, but about 40 men in blue on bikes kept us out of that one.
Thank you. Sorry, Councillor Sim.
I'm going to let Councillor Taylor go because she always has to go last.
Councillor Taylor.
I don't mind going last, only following Shelley is very hard. So thank you, Shelley. Councillor Sim. So I only have a couple of updates. So I was at the Canada Day Parade and at the Grad Parade. I do want to thank our press for covering the Grad Parade and covering the Grad Awards. And it always astonishes me the generosity of the community, how many local bursaries and scholarships we have. So I just want to put out a thank you to all the groups and businesses who support our grads going on to next phase of their careers and their lives. So yeah, astonishing list. Thank you for giving the list and sharing that. And yeah, great to see. So that's my report.
Fire away.
So
Birthday to Wayne.
oh, thank you. Yes. So yes, it feels like it's been forever since we met. So much of it has been said, definitely the grads, but just the prelude to the grads is going into the high school and doing a tour with the superintendent. If anybody in the fall has an opportunity to go get a tour of the high school, that place is amazing. And when you speak to the kids, what they are learning and what they get passionate about is outstanding. And I don't think we understand half or even a quarter of the talent that we have with our kids there. They are making stuff thanks to the Wells Gray Community Forest. Just outstanding. I saw tables and these kids who feel attached and our teachers who create that attachment and support. I just think we're so lucky, and it's one of the unsung facets of our community that I wish we spoke more about, is how good that high school is. The soccer season seemed to go on forever thanks to the onslaught of rain. So that would just seem to be forever. I think it's great news that it's finally 34 degrees, because maybe the swimming lessons might attract a little more attention. Swimming in freezing cold and sweat wetsuits wasn't so appealing. A big shout out to the music night that started for Summer Stage, and Mayor Blackwell was just fun and engaging with the audience. So nice welcome there. I also want to do a shout out to Councillor Haring, who was awesome as a DJ at the Clearwater Ski Hill, like just really, really good. If we have another one and he is there, I highly recommend everybody come out. It was great. And he was doing his very best to tell me or teach me what chill is. I don't think so. I don't think I did. I don't think so. I'm going to echo Councillor Taylor. And we see so much in the newspaper and so much is going on. We're Mayor Blackwell and all of his press. Without local press, communities go unnoticed. So thank you for that. And then probably the biggest thing is I got to attend the first LGBTQ meeting on Sunday. And I know it was in response to Canada Day, and just with some of the flags that were put out in various places, and then some of the comments that were expressed about them. And it was felt that maybe this part of our community wanted to get together and hear from one another. And what they really appreciated is the fact that the district has the pride flag. So I want to thank Councillor Taylor for bringing that forward, because it was nice to be able to go to the meeting, and I had invited Councillor Taylor as well because it was her idea. It was appreciated. And looking for more signs and listening to the stories of some of the people that were there, and how particular life choices can be scary, and how that collides with racial intersections and some of that. So I know that this council is committed to leaning in to some of those things. And I think I've encouraged the group to come to council with some of their ideas about ways that it can be identified. The owner of the Gateway Grill was there. He had hosted the meeting. He said that since he's put out his flags around his restaurant, business from tourists has skyrocketed. And then we talked about how it related to professional development, professional recruitment, and all sorts of different ways that we may not understand. So I think this is going to be an exciting group to be a part of. If you'd like to attend, the next meeting is June the 24th. July, thank you. June 24th was the grad. July 24th, 3 p.m. At the Gateway Grill. They're really looking for allies. So 3 to 4 social, 4 to 5 the actual meeting. It is open to everybody because they've calling themselves Valley Pride, which is super fun. And just have that stretch of inclusion and voices.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Councillor Taylor.
can I add?
fire away.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I think seeing the council lean in more to allyship across like all like groups would be great to see, and would love to see how we can lean in there, because I think we've there's acceptance and then there's allyship, which is entirely different, and kind of moving us on to that allyship as a community and better supporting various groups across the community.
Yeah, so they'll have some good ideas and to speak to that. I am hoping that maybe we can also, at some point in time, expand our flags to the Sportsplex as well, because that's quite visible for a lot of tourists coming in. So they'll have some really good ideas. So I wanted to share that invitation, and they would love to see people there. So, and that would be the rest. That's the report. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Oh, what do you got? Fire away.
This, in conjunction with a lot of what we heard about Canada Day and just different volunteers groups and working with people, I wondered how this council would feel about following Kamloops about acknowledging citizens in their community. So Kamloops is very good at it, and they've got some criteria, so it's all done for us. But I wondered if in October at the end, if we had some parameters about acknowledging citizens who have really made a difference to the social well-being to our community. I can share out the link so you can read it. We could maybe discuss it at the next meeting. But people have leaned in hard, and in a world of volunteer fatigue, shining a light on them. We don't just have one citizen, we have many citizens. Kamloops has done it, so I think that they've had 10 citizens they've acknowledged, 5, 8, so it's really kind of at the discretion. So I wanted to get some feedback, see how you felt about that.
Any thoughts from anybody? Councillor Taylor?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have obviously we have the chamber, but I think there's more that we can do and more that the district can do. Yeah.
I would agree with that. And I think in a lot of times we've waited for the chamber to do that expanded role, but I think at some point it's okay for the chamber to acknowledge, but it's also okay for us to recognize as well. So I think both is perfectly fine. I think it's a great idea. I think the timeline is good too. So we'll work
Okay.
on that one.
So
for the
I'll
next meeting.
share that out and then
Yeah.
maybe it could be on the agenda for the August meeting or something.
Sounds like a very easy thing that council can take on themselves.
Exactly. And the criteria is already done. So
Yes.
I've already looked at all the fine details and
Yeah.
and how we do it and looked at the awards. And I think it is something that we could do. And I think it would get some great traction.
Excellent. Thank you. Great idea. Yes, go ahead, Councillor.
I just forgot to mention that I took a tour of the new development up at Evergreen Acres. It's the last phase. My sister-in-law is looking to moving in, so I got a chance to go in and I was there to see all of the people that are going in. And I don't know, I just felt so great that people were finally getting that place where they feel safe and comfortable and they don't have to worry anymore. So there's 20 of them that are going up there and I'm just excited about it. And they'll probably be moving in either October 1st or November 1st. It's a little somewhere in that frame. So it was an exciting time. So, and the amenity hall is now getting a big focus too. So that'll be good. So another
Yay.
place to have functions.
Oh, wow.
Yay.
For how many people?
It's fairly, never mind. It's not yours yet.
Okay.
Moving on to committee of the whole reports, and Councillor Taylor is up first with government operations. But if you'd like to start it with another comment.
Just another comment on that. Maybe when the immunity hall is ready, maybe we could host a welcome to the new residents. I don't know, just
so
an
nice.
idea. Okay, so our next meeting for government operations is September 6th.
Community and Economic Development and Infrastructure, Councillor Banford.
Our next meeting is August 16th.
Parks and Recreation, Social Development, Councillor Sim, there's a recommendation.
The council enter a committee, the whole meeting of the Parks, Recreation and Social Developments Committee.
Mover and seconder on that, moved by Councillor Mackenzie, seconded by somebody on this side. Councillor Haring or Councillor Taylor. All those in favor? All yours.
So we have one item on this, and this would be a staff report for community parks. I believe that, the new John Thomas is in the house, AKA Mr. Mayor. Are there any highlights you want to share with us or?
Everything's progressing pretty well, I think. The parks are all. Yesterday, and anyone have any questions?
Councillor Haring. Oh, and then I have Councillor Frizzle.
I'm just curious about the red chairs, the Adirondacks or whatever. Have those gone out for the year yet, or are they?
We haven't had those for a couple of summers. They were all damaged.
All damaged. Oh, okay.
We need heavier, more expensive ones. Do I have a motion? I'm just kidding.
I didn't realize they were all damaged. I knew several were, but I wasn't sure it was all.
Yes, they were eventually all broke down. They were really appreciated when we had them. People liked them. But I used to work with their families.
Good. I had Councillor Frizzle.
So on the phone in the wind, you've got down here, the bench has been ordered.
Yes.
Is that your bench or is that
That's the bench you wanted.
the bench that the Wellsbury Country Senior Society ordered?
The bench for the Wellsbury Country Senior Society has
Okay.
been ordered.
That's what I just wanted to confirm, that maybe there was two benches.
Just the one.
Okay, thank you.
Do I have Councillor Taylor?
Well, I was going to see about making a motion if council were willing to at least explore the cost involved with new red chairs that may be a bit more robust.
Oh, second.
Just costs for now.
You can't second it. You gotta do all.
Your
of it.
chair.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All those in favor?
Oh, no, I know, but I didn't know if you wanted to get more specific. 'cause
Oh,
normally
no,
you're-
no.
Normally I'm the generalist and you're the one that's pretty good about.
No, just if staff were able to get some costs on like more robust chairs, very similar, but maybe that it doesn't have to be wood, but what's the stuff that normally made out of recycled bottles, but it's really heavier plastic kind of.
Some options.
Mhm.
Yeah. Even the ones that are available at Costco that maybe we could get a group of kids to put together. They might take more ownership that way, and then we paint them. So there's lots of projects there. Do I have discussion on this motion? Well, yeah, I know, but I thought I'd ask. No discussion. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Any other questions on the parks report? Councillor Mackenzie.
Yeah, thank you. I was just curious what kind of volunteer projects Bannister did down at Cat Park aside from public works type jobs. What all they do.
They dragged the field again for one of their guys, one of their staff has experience working in the ballpark.
Okay.
And they dragged the field for us. They've also donated all the materials. They're gonna build a storage shed.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I seen a guy down there once, a couple Saturdays ago, parked there early in the morning. So I was
Yeah,
kinda wondering.
they were dragging in fields. Our public works staff is a little problem right now.
Oh, yeah.
And so they
For
are
sure.
going to do it for us.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
If nobody else has a question, I have a question about our skateboard park. And I know we've got something on it, but the skateboard bowl is becoming quite an artist's canvas.
Mhm.
And did everybody see what Kamloops is doing? Yeah, like fruit and more fruit. How fun. I'm just not sure how the community feels about it. If it's, some people say that's a part of the culture there. I just thought I would ask because that Kamloops one was super neat. Mayor Blackwell, and then I have Councillor Haring.
I would say, let's see what happens with Kamloops for about 2 months. And if it's something that lasts without damage, it might be something to consider for sure.
Councillor Haring?
I'm a big fan of the living mural concept for things like skate parks because when you put murals, like you said, in a couple months, they tend to get damaged. So what you instead do is create a series of kind of rules around it and say, anybody can go paint there. You want to bring your kids to go paint on the bowl of the skate park, that's allowed. But here are the goalposts, right? Keep it whatever, family friendly, and then it allows the art to change constantly. And if somebody does deface it, well, the next person comes along and goes straight over that. So I've seen that used in big cities before.
Any other comments? If you haven't seen it, just Google it, but their skateboard park is now a giant half watermelon, or it will be. It does seem fun, but there's lots of prudence to see, does the watermelon get eaten? Right. Anything else? Otherwise, motion to rise from the committee.
Mackenzie, second by Councillor Taylor. All those in favor? Sorry, didn't have my mic on. We're up from committee of the whole. Moving on to item 16.1, select committee reports. Councillor Taylor, Trails Task Force.
So the next meeting is this evening, July 11th, 12th.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Frizzle, Community Economic Development Task Force.
The next meeting is tomorrow evening, July 13th.
And Councillor Banford, Cemetery Advisory Committee.
Our next meeting is the 26th, and just a bit of an update. Our last meeting, we finished going over the old bylaw completely. On the 26th, we scheduled a full half day. We're going to start with lunch. We're going to have a tour of the cemetery with the full committee, our CEO and some of the maintenance staff. We're going to then come back and review all of the minutes that we've had from our previous meetings and start putting a list together with a bit more information about it on things that we'd like to bring to council with recommendations with regards to reviewing the fee schedule, with regards to a green burial space, a garden space, all those type of things will come to council. So we're getting to that stage where we're going to do a whole full day, half day session kind of thing and try to flesh some of that out and have it ready to come to council in the future. So that's where we are.
Thank you. Any questions for Councillor Banford on that? I think that's wonderful progress on a file that so many people are invested in for sure. Thank you. Moving on to staff reports, you have the CAO report in your agenda, 18 to 20. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Wales Grey Forest Commission. Oh no, sorry,
Tourism was great.
Tourism Wales Grey. I missed the whole section there.
Correct.
Councillor Sim.
So Tourism Wales Grey, most of us were at the Canada Day at the Information Center. So nice to hear so many locals saying, I haven't been here since the upgrades. That staff in there is doing just outstanding stuff. It's looking really, really good. You know, the Tourism Wales Great South hasn't been meeting. I think I mentioned that the chair, Guy Ovenden, he has stepped down from there. They've got some good applicants, including 2 local applicants to replace Ms. Molina. I think they're just making their way through, but I think really focusing on the information center has been a great success for them. So I don't know when the next meeting is. I don't know what's going to happen next, except it's going great.
Thank you. And then, sorry, Wells Great Community Forest Commission, Councillor Banford.
Yes, no meeting scheduled. It'll be announced when an issue comes up that has to be dealt with. I just want to say I'm glad to hear Canada Day went well. I wanted to attend, but I ended up spending 5 days in a row in Littlefort. So that's what it is.
Thank you. On pages 18 to 21, you have the CAO report. If there's any questions of staff on any items in there, please feel free to ask them. If not, you can ask staff after this meeting. And then moving on to page 22, we have the noise control bylaw amendments. There is a recommendation that noise control bylaw amendment bylaw number 266 2022 be adopted. What is the wishes of council? Move. Question? Question.
I just wanted to know, how is this initiated? Internally, or was this at the request of
My belief here, and can't remember, Michael, if Mr. Penny, if he wishes to speak to this, because he probably remembers more than I do.
Yeah, I think I wrote the report that was at last council meeting where we did the first 3 readings. I believe it was initiated when someone had requested a 24-hour permit, or, and that we, the CEO discovered there was no way that he could issue that under the strictures of the noise bylaw. So this amendment was created to create a discretionary exception for the public works manager to allow such permit to be issued. And I believe we've issued a letter to the person saying that we're anticipating it being adopted.
Thank you. Thank you. What is the wishes of council then? Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Haring, seconded by Councillor Frizzle. District of Clearwater bylaw number 266 2022, a bylaw to amend the District of Clearwater noise control bylaw number 14. Whereas the purpose of this bylaw is to amend the District of Clearwater noise control bylaw number 14 2008 to allow for the discretionary approval of extraordinary construction projects. Now therefore the Council of the District of Clearwater in open meeting assembled enacts as follows. This bylaw may be cited as the District of Clearwater noise control bylaw number 14 amendment bylaw number 266 2022. All those in favor? And that passes. Thank you. And good work on that report, Mr. Penny. Correspondence response required. A mural proposal for the skateboard park. This is a decision of council. I mean, there's lots of options here, but what are the thoughts of council on this one? Councillor Mackenzie actually went out there and had a look today. So, but Councillor Haring, if you have any thoughts, or whoever wants to go first.
I'm a big fan of retrofit. I think that the current art on there is a little dated and could use a update. And it's nice to, give it a bit of a facelift since it's being used more for pickleball, stuff like that. I think there's a lot of people very close to that mural. So
yeah, for sure. Councillor Taylor.
So I just had a question if anyone knows what the where that original art originated, and whether we would offend anybody if it was put in any official means. I just wanted some context on that if we were to put something over the top.
And that was, I'll let Councillor Mackenzie, he went and inspected it today, and maybe Roger remembers back when it was put in place. Do you? Okay, do you remember who
I'll
it
let
was?
Councillor Mackenzie go first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if someone did. I took a look. I didn't see any initials or nothing signed on it, but I thought it was just kind of in conjunction with a bunch of the first users when we put that park in. that maybe got together, did that. I don't recall when it exactly went up there, but that was just kind of my take on it.
So I saw your picture. What, there's a big 8 ball and a few other things there right now?
SK, yeah, Clearwater SK8 Park is what it does say.
Mhm.
I've honestly never realized that driving by it every day on the highway, what it said. I just see the big 8 ball sitting there. I never actually read it. So until this morning.
Councillor Sim, you seem to remember when this?
We did. It was council that actually, it was put forward. So there should be a record of the artist who put it through. And this was probably 6 years ago, maybe even longer. Well, COVID does that. It was done, I will tell you that it was done in May, because I actually laughed, because I remember being away for that particular one and coming back. So it was a May meeting, and there, all the records should be there about who the artist was, because I think that's a really valid point. But I did have a chuckle about maybe the artist putting it over on council and the meaning. That makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. Yeah, so there is a record of it, and I think it's probably a good idea, especially in conjunction with Councillor Haring's comments about, how things change and evolve.
So we have a request to allow somebody else to put another mural. Obviously, it'd be good to investigate who the original person was, but at the same time, if that is all free and clear, what does council think about allowing this artist to move forward with a new mural? They're not asking for anything at this point. Councillor Haring?
I'll make a motion to support her request or to grant her request. I don't know how to put that.
Support request pending a little bit of investigation. Okay,
I'll second that.
second that. Any further thoughts or discussion? Councillor Sim?
Just that we may have some other artists who may, be keen on, should this be an opportunity for proposal for different things? I don't know if we don't put that out there, we've got quite an active artist community, as we're seeing by the art walk, etc. And I don't know if that's, I don't know how to do it if people don't.
There's also this design here, I'm looking at this and how it would translate to that. Well, there's an awful lot of wall there. I mean, there's possibility for multiple
A lot.
designs.
It could be,
Yeah.
again, going to what Councillor Haring's saying is having it almost blocked off so people could do submissions. It's a great opportunity, even let's say, the Valley Pride, if they wanted to put something forward, youth artists. I think there's lots there. It could be a very invigorated space that she's now started a conversation on.
Yeah,
So I would do a friendly amendment, or actually, no, I'm going to let the motion stand.
Okay.
But-
Councillor Frizzle, did you have something there?
I was just going to say that there's probably room enough for her and anybody else that would want to. That was my first thought. And then I sort of said in the conversation that, there could be many artists up there that could go and do many great things, because I like this. There could be lots of other things I'd like to.
Yeah, thank you. Seeing no other discussion, all those in favor? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, Chemainus is built on that. On murals, and we already have some beautiful ones that everybody here drives past because we've seen them somewhere many times, but other people in the world are going, oh, that's pretty cool. Sportsplex and Fleet West and places like that. So that's fantastic. Correspondence information items. Thompson Nicola Regional District Building Inspection Services. Stop me if there's something you want to talk about. UBCM resolution acknowledgement, that's our resolution. Trans Mountain Emergency Management Program. Hospice Services Funding, UBCM resolution. Protecting BC coast from acidic wash water, UBCM. Resolution. CN News update. Library funding, UBCM resolution. And then a cell service and high-speed internet, MP computer letter to TELUS. I have already thanked his office for that initiative, and he's spot on, and he did consult with us and Barrier and other people on that one. We have no notices of motion, no other business. Comments from the public? Oh, I'll let Councillor Sim explain that to you because it was one of her initiatives. Yeah.
It was really, I mean, we've seen it sort of in the national parks, but it was a way to invigorate sort of social connection and social spaces. And some of them, for example, were down at the beach. And what we saw is a lot of people using them just to kind of pull together to be social. We had people who maybe had some mobility issues so that they were easier to get in and out of. They weren't the sturdiest. So we have some room for improvement, but they were kind of put strategically all over the community so people could walk and then sit and then visit. And it was just a way to cultivate social connection and social experiences. And it was received well. It's just some blew away, some were used as frisbees. So
Yes, they were red Adirondack chairs.
thanks for filling that.
Yeah,
in.
so, but yes, yeah, info center, they're all over the place.
Yeah, the beach, they were even down at Man Park. And we had 4 at the beach. We had some at the information center where they were quite popular. And then also up at Rotary Sports Park. So the intent was positive.
Anything else from public? If not, I'll call for a motion to adjourn at 2:35 on a council meeting. Thank you, everybody. Freedom.
I wondered if you were